And Nigeria is battling a huge drug problem, a development that has become a public health concern in the country as the use of both legal and illegal substances reaches an all-time high. Recent statistics released by the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control (NAFDAC) and the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) shows that over 14 million people misuse drugs, including children and teenagers in the country. Experts say these alarming statistics highlight the widespread misuse of both legal and illegal substances and underscores the growing public health crisis in the country. TV360's Ogechukwu Kekwe completes the story in this next report.
With cannabis, cocaine, tramadol, and codeine being widely available and frequently misused, Nigeria is facing a growing epidemic that demands urgent and comprehensive action. Numerous spots across the country have become notorious for drug sales and consumption. The Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) has been hard at leading Nigeria's drug war, regularly intercepting shipments hidden in everyday items destined for cities across the country. The Director of Media and Advocacy of the NDLEA lists the most common illicit drugs used in Nigeria.
Cannabis is actually the most commonly abused psychoactive substance in Nigeria. So that would also surface in this case, in this instance, to answer your question. Indeed, it's cannabis that is the most commonly abused by youths in Nigeria at the moment. And apart from next to cannabis is the opioids. The opioids, talking of tramadol, especially codeine-based syrup. That's the syrup that people use in the treatment of cough or the cough symptoms, cold symptoms. So you also have other opioids. These are pharmaceutical drugs that are actually for medical uses, but unfortunately have been abused for social drugs.
Drug abuse is not limited to illicit substances. Misuse of prescription medications calls for greater awareness to address the growing concern and its widespread negative impact on human health.
It affects individuals, especially students, young adults who are under a lot of pressure, immense pressure from work, from school, and even peer pressure. So when that happens, most people find themselves out of control. They become what we term as disinhibited. Things that regular individuals will not do, they find it easier to do. And so there's a higher tendency to commit crime. There's a higher tendency to do things that are inimical to the society, to destroy property in the society, to loot, to kill, to go about doing all sorts of things because they are under the influence of the medication that has taken away the effects of the brain to control or restrain certain activities that one would normally not do.
Various approaches have been implemented by the NDLEA to combat drug abuse and promote prevention efforts in Nigeria.
Mohammed Buba Mara retired. When he came in January 2021, one of the first things he did was to initiate a process, a campaign, an initiative, a social advocacy initiative called War Against Drug Abuse Advocacy. That's WADA. And what WADA is all about is to mobilize the citizens to buy in and take ownership of the fight against substance abuse, to raise awareness about substance abuse for every citizen to take advantage of their sphere of influence.
Experts emphasize that tackling drug abuse is crucial for enhancing the overall quality of life in Nigeria and fostering a healthier, more productive population. They say measures to reduce the burden should involve the community, government, and religious bodies. Ogechukwu Kekwe, TV360, Lagos.